In 2026, coconut oil remains a polarizing superfood. While its medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, are prized for quick energy, the industrial reality behind many mass-market jars is far from tropical bliss. The real reason certain brands are under fire this year is a combination of chemical refining, phthalate contamination from plastic leaching, and the presence of aflatoxins, mold-produced toxins found in poorly dried coconut meat, copra. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. The 2026 market has seen a surge in exposed lists as independent lab testing has become more accessible. Here are the 10 brands or types to avoid, followed by the ones setting the gold standard for safety. 1. KTC coconut oil, refined. The warning: KTC is often the most budget-friendly option in international aisles, but in 2026, it is frequently flagged for its extreme refining process. Employees and food auditors warn that because it is a refined, bleached, and deodorized (RBD) oil, it starts with low-quality copra that would be ineatable in its raw state. The squeeze: to make the oil shelf-stable and odorless, it is treated with high heat and chemical agents. This process strips away the lauric acid benefits and can leave behind trace residues of the refining agents. The reality: KTC has scored poorly in ethical consumer ratings, particularly regarding supply chain transparency. If you are looking for a health oil, this overprocessed variant is essentially just a source of empty saturated fat with a high risk of oxidation. 2. Biona Organic, specific batches. The warning: while Biona is a massive name in the organic world, recent 2026 worker category reports have given it lower scores than its competitors. The real reason to be cautious is packaging leaching. The squeeze: many of their bulk or budget-tier coconut oils are packaged in plastic tubs. Lab tests have shown that when coconut oil, a powerful solvent, sits in low-grade plastic for months, it can leach phthalates, endocrine disruptors, into the fat. The advice: even organic oil is compromised if the packaging is substandard. Look for Biona products explicitly in glass jars, or skip the brand's plastic-packaged options entirely to avoid chemical migration. 3. Generic coconut cooking sprays, aerosol. The warning: these are the hidden offenders of 2026. Brands like generic supermarket labels often use butane and propane propellants to get the oil out of the can. The squeeze: when you spray these onto a hot pan, you aren't just getting coconut oil. You are aerosolizing chemicals into your food and your kitchen air. Furthermore, many of these sprays use coconut oil that has been padded with cheaper, inflammatory seed oils to prevent the nozzle from clogging. The result: employees who work in manufacturing suggest that these sprays are closer to cleaning products than food. If you want to spray, use a refillable glass mister with high-quality oil you've poured yourself. 4. Fractionated coconut oil, liquid style. The warning: marketed as a convenient liquid that never solidifies, this is often a nutritional skeleton. To keep it liquid, the lauric acid, the most beneficial part of the coconut, is chemically removed. The squeeze: what remains are just two types of MCTs, C8 and C10. While good for a quick brain boost, it lacks the antimicrobial and heart protective properties of whole coconut oil. The reality: much of the liquid coconut oil on shelves in 2026 is highly processed and often sourced from the leftovers of the cosmetic industry. It is better used as a massage oil or skin moisturizer than as a primary cooking fat. 5. Copper-sourced smoky oils. The warning: if your coconut oil has a faint smoky or toasted scent but isn't labeled as such, avoid it at all costs. This is a sign of PAH contamination, polyaromatic hydrocarbons. The squeeze: in many small-scale operations, coconuts are dried over open fires. The smoke penetrates the meat, leaving behind PAHs, which are known carcinogens. The result: 2026 research indicates that up to 38% of certain regional coconut oils exceed safe limits for these residues. If the oil isn't cold-pressed or extra virgin, there is a much higher risk that it was dried using these hazardous methods. 6. Non-organic, expeller-pressed brands. The warning: expeller-pressed sounds healthy, but without the organic seal, it is a pesticide magnet. Coconuts are often grown with heavy fertilizers and pesticides that concentrate in the fatty portion of the fruit. The squeeze: because expeller pressing uses high friction and thus heat, any pesticides present in the raw meat are more likely to be integrated into the final oil. The advice: if you are buying refined oil for high-heat cooking, it must be organic. Choosing a non-organic refined brand, like some warehouse member labels, when not organic, means you are likely consuming a concentrated dose of agricultural chemicals. 7. Bulk, no-name pails, restaurant supply. The warning: often sold in 5-gallon pails for oil pulling or bulk cooking. These are the black boxes of the industry. The real reason to avoid them is rancidity. The squeeze: once these giant pails are opened, the surface area exposed to oxygen is massive. By the time you get halfway through the bucket, the oil has often begun to oxidize, creating free radicals. The reality: many of these bulk pails are found to have high free fatty acid content, a technical marker for spoilage. Unless you are running a high-volume bakery, the savings are offset by the inflammatory damage of consuming rancid fat. 8. Bleached, white coconut oils. The warning: if the label mentions bleached, even if it claims to be natural, stay away. In 2026, many brands use activated clays or chemical filters to turn gray, moldy copper oil into a snowy white product. The squeeze: this aesthetic processing is done to hide the poor quality of the initial harvest. Pure virgin coconut oil is naturally white when solid and clear when liquid. It shouldn't need a bleaching step to look that way. The advice: if a brand doesn't explicitly state unbleached, it's a red flag. You are likely eating oil that was rescued from the brink of spoilage through intensive industrial filtration. 9. Adulterated blend oils. The warning: in 2026, coconut cooking oil is a common label for blends that contain as little as 20% coconut oil. The rest is often cheap, genetically modified soybean or palm oil. The squeeze: these are designed to trick health-conscious shoppers into thinking they are buying a pure product. The high heat used to blend these oils often damages the delicate fats in the coconut portion. The reality: employees warn that these blends are the hot dogs of the oil aisle, made from whatever is cheapest at the time. Always check the back label for ingredients. If it lists anything other than 100% coconut oil, put it back. 10. Hydrogenated coconut oil. The warning: this is the grandfather of bad fats. While largely phased out of retail jars, it still appears in bulk commercial coconut fats used for confections and coffee creamers. The squeeze: hydrogenation turns coconut oil into a trans fat nightmare. It is used to give the oil an artificially high melting point, but it destroys the biological benefits of the coconut fat entirely. The result: if you see hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated on a bulk label or in a Kramer's ingredient list, it is the single most dangerous version of coconut oil you can consume, linked directly to cardiovascular inflammation. Which brands are safe? The 2026 gold standard. If the brands above are the villains, these are the heroes of 2026. These brands have passed independent testing for purity, packaging safety, and ethical sourcing. Dr. Bronner's Regenerative Organic, the safe bet for 2026. They use whole kernel, cold-pressed oil in glass jars. They are fair trade certified and explicitly vegan, ensuring no animal labor, monkeys, was used in harvesting. Nativa Organic Virgin, consistently the highest rated for purity. Their cold-pressed process is strictly monitored to stay below 120 degrees Fahrenheit, preserving the polyphenol. Garden of Life Raw Extra Virgin, one of the few brands that is raw certified, meaning it undergoes the absolute minimum amount of heat. Viva Naturals, known for its transparency, they provide batch-level sourcing info and use fresh harvested coconuts rather than aged copra. Kirkland's Signature Organic Virgin, the budget hero. While it's in plastic, it is high quality, USDA organic, and non-GMO verified, making it the safest large format option.